How do you grow the organic traffic of a domain that is converted to a PBN site? How do you grow the organic traffic domain that is converted?
You,
The same way you get traffic on any other
yeah,
domain. But in general, it's not something I would do. You know, we actually had a video or a post. So we had something very recently on basically why you have to evaluate PBN sites differently and why basically almost no PBN has traffic or enough traffic that people want to see. It's because basically people have this idea of traffic in their minds as being the thing that sites really need to have an effect, right? And we do agree that you do want to see some kind of traffic when, especially when you're talking about like a normal website, like a guest post, a site you're getting a guest post from, or a site you're getting a link insertion on, any kind of like editorial links. But PBN links are completely different. I mean, you could do it, but then you're putting a lot more work into it at that point, and it kind of becomes something different than a
it's different.
PBN. It's almost like creating just another site in your network. Because if you're creating a site that's actually getting a lot of traffic, monetize it. Like you don't if
Neil
you don't want to just use it as a
Neil Patel
PBN,
was
right?
famous for, having this network of
Yeah,
sites, that they controlled, that they didn't call it a PBN. They had a different name for it, right? But it's just a glorified PBN. When you're backed by venture capital, maybe, yeah, you do work at getting these sites a little bit of backlink, notoriety every year or so. You're doing higher quality content, which then can resonate better in the SERPs, right? So that would get you additional traffic. Let's say you're putting up a post for one of your blogs or client blogs with a backlink to it, but it's like really good quality content, then that could end up ranking and getting you more traffic to that blog, etc. But again, like Chris said, is that something that I would focus on? No, a PBN is a different kind of tool, in my opinion. And the reason that you're using PBNs instead of going the other route is for budget, right? So, maybe if you own a PBN and it goes to like a really high, you know, profit making site, and it's very exclusive, like once or twice a year you come in, you send a couple backlinks to each blog or something like that just to make it look fresh. You spend a little bit more on content, making sure that it's unique and fairly decent. And that might be worthwhile, but it's all dependent on what you're doing with your budget as well.
yeah. So not something we really recommend, but if I had to do it, if you were like really set on this idea, which I just recommend you wouldn't do anyway, I think what I would do is I would release a cluster of AI content on like super low competition keywords and like a very tight cluster, right? Um, and then I would pay someone on Fiverr to go through and edit it. A very low tier writer on Fiverr, very cheap writer, and just get them to insert a ton of firsthand experience in it. Like you have to actually have a kind of revised stop and just be like, hey, just go insert and talk about how, from a first person point of view, just pretend that you have all this experience with it and just put a bunch of stuff in these articles about it. Then I'd go throw a bunch of AI generated images in there from like DALL-E, from ChatGPT's new image thing. And then maybe like Nick was saying, like throw like a handful of backlinks at it per year or something, and it'll probably end up, there's a good chance it could end up ranking for some of those low competition kind of articles you threw up, right? And I guess that would probably be like the cheapest way to really go about that. But just have a decent SOP for the Fiverr writer and realize the quality is not really going to be too good, but it is what it is. Anything else to add, Nick?
Nope.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to check the links below for more info on this topic, as well as other cool stuff like SEO case studies, our Facebook community, and our link building services. And like always, please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks, and happy ranking.